What a new day! I'm DC Hegdale, and I'm here because every human life begins with a birth, and that birth affects that person's whole life and their generations. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, yeah, here's a little creature I created, my avatar. This video will be a little different. Here's some research I did about the relationship between family theory and the transition period of pregnancy, specifically about the stress and stressors of pregnancy. Hold on to your hats, folks. We're going to do something a little different here.
Welcome to the Loudmouth Birth Advocate channel. Glad you made it. I'm a student researcher, which means I have to fact check everything I do or I flunk a class.
Okay, I want to start off with a disclaimer. My talking about pregnancy stress here, I'm not saying pregnancy is bad. Having done it myself, I can say pregnancy is a wonderful experience and vital for the continuity of humanity, including new ideas of new generations. But pregnancy is not easy. It's not simple. It may be a wonderful effect for many, but it always has a significant cost to the body every time. So let's get into this. But first, some information about my channel.
YouTube, you've probably been here before. This symbol is your voting ballot. Let me know what you think of the content of this video. You may be also someone in the childbearing field who I lovingly call birth nerds. Feel free to use the comment section down below as a community to talk with each other as well as me. If you click subscribe, it becomes an easy way to find more of my videos as well as the recommended playlist that I have down below.
So let's get started on how much change happens when a new baby is added to the family, whether that's reproduction or adoption. So we've seen these memes before about a lot of things, probably most commonly your particular vocation or work. So what does society say lawyers do versus what do they really do? So the same can be said about parenthood. Society's view of parenthood, especially the concept of motherhood bliss, which is a myth. Motherhood is not entirely blissful, not even on a single solitary day. We are human beings functioning inside a motherhood experience, so that changes things. Versus what the common experience is, which is what I just mentioned. There are negative experiences. There is stress. This is not uncommon. This is not abnormal. Okay, so this isn't a science or research conference. This is YouTube. Let's keep it lighthearted. I'm not going to do a deep dive, but there's some interesting information in research theory. For one, stress across the pregnancy is measurable. It's detectable. It's obvious. In fact, that stress can increase across pregnancy. One of my favorite things about childbirth science is what's called the birth high. Oxytocin is called the love hormone. It's what we feel when we look at puppies or we fall in love with our new baby or another human being. It actually contributes to starting labor and continuing labor. Another part of theory is the transition to motherhood. It's not an instant switch. It's a process. It's full of change. Family stress theory and structure and process talk about how each family member has an impact on other family members' relationships. No one is an island. Everyone is interconnected, including their individual changes and the processes within the family. In talking about diversity and not being an island, intersectionality plays a huge part in each individual family group. The marriages involved, the genders involved, the ethnicities within the family. In addition, the parent-child relationship has an impact on that child's future, not just during childhood. and it has an impact on mental health. Okay, I'm going to talk about a little taboo subject. The mothering instinct is not automatic. There's a myth that all women or all people giving birth just automatically know how to be a mother, feel good about being a mother, do well at being a new parent, and this just isn't true. A new baby is a big adjustment. It's a huge learning curve. There's a reason why there's a little, I don't want to call it a joke, a little quip about how babies don't come with manuals. There's a reason why people say that. It's a really challenging experience. Research has found that there are some negative outcomes connected with the early childhood experience, and from that, there's been a discovery of what risk factors or risk groups, so say for instance, pregnant people experiencing poverty is a risk group. And not all depression is the same when it comes to parenting ability or future negative outcomes for the child or the family unit. And I love that education and research helps me learn things. There's this term of matration. It's very similar to adolescence in that it's a process, it takes time, there's developmental markers, there's a lot of change involved, and it does not happen all at once. And now a quick little word about the channel, and then we'll get back to the presentation.
Feel free to share these videos with other people. Be a voice of this information. You might not be interested in genetic reproduction. It might be too soon for you. You might be done. You can still be a voice. Here's why I need your help. The childbearing year is not limited to those that are reproducing. It affects all of us.
Okay, so here's the point of the research that I did. There's a lot of change going on besides just growing a rather immature but completely whole human being while simultaneously functioning throughout life, which is a mind blower in itself. But there's also changes in the shared space. So if there's more than one person in the home, someone besides the one going through pregnancy, there will be not necessarily a sudden but gradual change in a lot of things like shared space or siblings if those are already in the home, or the schedule of the individuals inside the home, or the structure of how the home itself functions, how support is given or received or needed, how self-image or body image changes. That definitely changes over time. Many times there's a change in sexuality. It's shocking how much change actually happens. It takes a while for a pregnant person, and frankly everybody in the home, to become acclimated to these new roles, including new parenthood. I like to make it akin to a roommate parallel. There is a new person that's going to be moving in to this family. It's not just adding a new little member. Okay, so I have to tout Dr. Alexandra Sachs here for a second on this subject. She gave a great TED talk that I just loved, and that talk led me to one of her books that I'm going to be doing a review on in the future, in a future video. It's called What No One Tells You, A Guide to Your Emotions from Pregnancy to Motherhood. So she co-authored this with Dr. Catherine Berndoff, and it's similar to What to Expect, but from the sociology, psychology, social perspective of pregnancy. I wish this could be all one book and include more medical options like home birth and birth center and midwives and things like that, but I can't do everything. Which reminds me, the bottom line that I want to leave for talking about the stress of pregnancy is give yourself a break and ask for everyone else to give you a break. No one is expected to do it all right. No one's expected to do things well from the beginning. No one's expected to be able to just dive right in and bounce right back. Um, Motherhood being easy or blissful is a myth. Everything in life is a challenge, including this. I can say that parenthood is so, so rewarding when you have enough support and self care and resources and people to reach out to. So feel free to check out the resources at the end where I found this information. But next is the last information about this channel.
So what's unique about this channel? What's new? Anything that you see different about me, the background, those all count as what's new. But why play that gimmick? I've got a purpose. I want to pass on the information. And education starts with critical thinking. Critical thinking does not mean being a judgmental person. It means being able to look at something and not take it as face value. Look at it, analyze it. That's critical thinking, and that's where education starts.